You know what? At this point, I won't even say nothing. Because it's judging a book by its cover. I look at Chainsmoker Cat. I look at this other one, Jimoto Psycho. And I'm just like, what are we doing? We got a smoking cat who does hard drugs. And then we got another little girl snorting lines of cocaine. And I'm just like, hey, it's not for me. I'm going to just leave it be. It's not for me, so I'm going to leave it be. And that's the motto that I'm adopting now. It's just, I'm going to let it be. I'm not even going to say nothing. And I know somebody's going to come after me in the comments saying, why don't you at least give the shows a shot before you judge it? Maybe you'll see that it's not what it appears to be. And maybe that's true. But if this is what the trailers are showing, I just don't feel like doing that. I might just say F it one day and give it a try, but today is not that day. You know? I'm not even going to say nothing at this point. Because I know there's people who really do actually find value in those shows. And give it a shot, and then they like it. And then there's a lot of people that hate it. But it exists. And it should be allowed to exist, because some people do connect and resonate with those stories. They have a connection to those stories. And like, who am I to say that it's wrong just because I looked at a couple of commercials and I was just like, I don't like it. I don't like what they're getting up to in that. They're smoking their crack and their weed. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, cool, let it be. Because gamers don't like it when people who don't understand the game, who don't understand the aesthetic, who don't even play the game or buy the product, complain about the game and try to get it destroyed or taken down or removed or deleted. So why would I complain about something that I think I won't like and try to complain that, oh, it's the fall of society, things aren't wholesome like they used to be. And it's just, I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, it's just not for me. I'm gonna go watch something else. It's kind of the same way I get with Kagurabachi, where that I know 100% is about to be the new JJK. Now that JJK has basically vacated the premises for the time being, at least in terms of the manga is completely done. And the anime is not airing this season. Now that it's vacated the premises, Kagurabachi is going to be the new thing that everybody jumps onto, and it's going to be the new hype moment, aura farming show that everybody's gonna like. I mean, it did have a lot of hype coming out when it first premiered, but people were joking about that at the time, and then slowly it started to gain its actual fan base, and people were really hyped about what was actually going on in the story. I personally read up to the end of the first arc, with I think it was called the Sojo arc or something like that, where he was fighting this sword guy who was controlling lightning, whereas the main character is really cool. He looks really cool. He's got a really cool power. I like how it works with the water and the fish and all that. It looks super cool. It's awesome. But the story itself, for me, it just was like, it was almost there. It wasn't quite there, but it was almost there. One of the things that I really didn't like about the first arc was this trope that I've seen in other manga play out, where they introduce a bunch of very strong looking characters, a bunch of characters that you think, oh wow, they're gonna be like really formidable, they're gonna be really strong and help out the main character, and they fight the main villain and they all get decimated. And then the main character ends up being the only one who can stop the main villain after these really strong seeming characters get just wiped out. And I've seen that too many times, like maybe in Chainsaw Man or in Attack on Titan. I've seen that too many times in the past to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I already knew they were going to get decimated. It seemed like I don't want to call it cheap, but it seemed like an easy tactic to shock the reader and make them want to read more. But that kind of trope just kind of, turned me off. It's like, can I feel confident that this writer is able to continue to tell the story without relying on shock value tactics like that? And when I look back at the stories that I grew up with, like with Naruto or with One Piece, I just see much stronger, solid storytelling in their manga that, unfortunately, I'm always comparing. Like, I'm always comparing to Hunter x Hunter or to stuff that I read in the past. I'm comparing to the best of the best that I've experienced, so that when I read something like that, I'm like, it's just not what I experienced before, so it's just not for me. And that's just the way it's gonna be. It's not for me, so I'll let it be. And I know the current generation of anime fans are gonna hype it up to oblivion, but I'm gonna just let it be. I might even read more if people are saying like, hey, it gets better. Okay, if it gets better, I'll see and see if it really does. But I just don't like cheap shock value stuff like that unless it has a narrative purpose to it. But the thing about like Chain Smoker Cat and Jimoto Psycho and even Kagurabachi is that people have been waiting over a decade for Siren, the anime, to come out. And Chain Smoker Cat is getting the red carpet rolled out for it, for its animation, for its story, for everything. The music on point, everything. It's getting the red carpet rolled out, and Siren is just getting scraps. I mean, I feel bad for that fan base because I never actually read Siren, but everybody I've talked to about it over the years or have heard about it over the years have said they loved it. It was amazing. It was awesome. They wish it had an anime, and for whatever reason, it's just never had an anime in the past. And now that it actually finally has a chance to get the anime it always deserved, all the resources are being sucked into Chainsmoker Cat and all these other shows and whatnot. The next isekai anime or whatever is popular now. And I'm just like, well, I feel bad for y'all. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to enjoy my nice new season of Mushoku Tensei. And, just call it a day, man. That show is pretty good. I just enjoy it. But I will say this for it. The first couple of episodes have been really, really strong. I've watched the first three. First couple of episodes have been really strong just because of the return of Eris and her journey to get stronger. And then it got kind of boring with the return of Rudius. Like, not that he's a bad character, but he's just not going through any conflict right now at the moment. So it's like, okay, we got to see some conflict here. And then it'll become interesting again. But until that point, especially the point where Eris and him get back together, or like, finally make contact, I can't see Rudius' story being more interesting than Eris's at the moment. But that's just a side note. These days, I mostly just go back to stuff that I've already read or things I might like to read, and just focus on things that I'm actually interested in, so I don't like lose my mind. And that's pretty much it. If you would like to check out a story that you'll definitely be interested in, if you like supernatural horror and comedy and action, check out my latest webcomic, Saintly. It is a demon chase horror action comedy. about two best friends who have to outrun the demon loan sharks that they borrowed from. Basically, it's like Scooby-Doo meets K-pop demon hunters without the K-pop. And the story backs the main character into a corner where she has to decide between the hard path to success or lose her soul to the lure of easy money. And we get to see the ramifications of her choice and if she can hide this deal with the devil from her friend or if it will tear them apart. And I hope you read my comic in the description and check out the story. It should appear in your email inbox or your spam folder if you don't see it. And thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.